Hey BookTube, it's Brekke from BrekkeWrites, and this is my Owls Magical Readathon TBR. For those of you who have never participated, the Owls Magical Readathon is a complex and interesting readathon in the month of April, where you are taking classes towards your Owls exams that are in Harry Potter. It's the ordinary wizarding level exams, and you take classes which are book prompts towards different career tracks. There's like 20 different career tracks, and depending upon which classes you pass or books you read that fit a prompt, you then can achieve a career goal. And then the career goals that you achieve here in April are then used, I think, in November for the newts. So it's a complex readathon. It's very interesting. I'm going to link the website down below so that you can check it out if you're interested. I encourage you all to participate because it is super fun and very whimsical and a really good motivator to get some books read. So I am participating this year and I am aiming for a herbologist with a certificate in magical shopkeeping because that feels like it'd be my jam. Like I think I'd be a herbologist in this muggle world if it was an option available. So to be an herbologist, you have to take care of magical creatures, herbology, and potions, and then the certificate in magical shopkeeping, I would have to take arithmancy. So for care of magical creatures, you have to have a book with a creature with a beak on its cover. And I don't have very many of those, but I do have one, and that is Pansy by Andrea Gibson. And if you can see right there, there is a little bird, and it's also on the back cover as well. So she doesn't say it has to be a big bird or a big creature with a beak, so I'm going to choose Pansy by Andrea Gibson. It's also National Poetry Month, and so I was planning on reading poetry anyway, so this was already on my to-be-read list for this month, so this will be my Care of Magical Creatures book. The second class is Herbology, and for that you have to read a book that starts with the letter M. And so for me, I am going to be reading Monstrous by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. Now, I have actually read the first one before, but I have the second and the third, and I've not read them yet. So I really want to catch up with the series, and I feel like this is a really good time to catch up and to get back into this series. This is a graphic novel that's very whimsical and fantasy-like about a girl whose family basically is murdered, and she is going to go after the killer of her family, and she somehow gets involved with an ancient god-like creature that may or may not be evil. So there are talking cats, and that's all I needed. Talking cats, monsters, girls seeking revenge, beautiful artwork. So I'll be reading this for Herbology. The third class that I would need to take for Herbologist is Potions, and for that it's the Shrinking Spell, so you need a book under 150 pages. Because it is National Poetry Month, I am going to be picking this collection of poetry, Mistaking the Sea for Green Fields by Ashley Capps. This is a wonderful little collection of poetry. It's very short. I think it's less than 100 pages. Yeah, it's like 65 pages long. So this is definitely going to meet that goal. It also technically could double dip and give me my Herbology credit, but I'm trying to read one book for each prompt if I can. So this is going to be my Potions reading for this month. And finally, to get my certificate in magical shopkeeping, I need to read a book outside of my favorite reading genre. Now, my two favorite reading genres are young adult fantasy and then nonfiction broadly, mostly in hobby books, like gardening books, cookbooks, that kind of stuff. So I can't read any of those. Because I can't read any of those, I am going to choose my final poetry book of the month, and that is Conflict Resolution for Holy Beings by Joy Harjo. This is the final collection of poetry I plan on reading this month, although I'm hoping to get a pre-order of a friend of mine's book. But this one will fulfill my reading books outside of my favorite genre, because even though I really like poetry, I wouldn't consider it my favorite genre. So I was planning on reading this anyway. I can now count it towards my reading goals for the month. So this is a stack of books that I do plan on reading for the Magical Readathon. Now there's a part of me that kind of wants to gun for another career on top of herbologist, maybe like the Hogwarts professor career, but that's a lot of reading. And since I read 5 books in total over the last 3 months, the idea that I could be reading 4 books in 1 month plus doing NaNoWriMo feels like this is a doable, achievable TBR for my readathon. Are y'all participating? I would love to know if you're going to participate in the owls, and if you aren't, you definitely should check it out. It is super fun. One of my boys are going to participate as well, and he's very excited. So I think it's something you could do with your whole family if you've got kids. I think it's just a really exciting, interesting, fun way to get some books read and to jump into reading, particularly if there's some books that you haven't been looking to pick up that you can fulfill. It's really fun, and reading all the careers is really, really fun. This is a very intricate and well done readathon, so I encourage you to check it out. All right, I hope you guys are well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.